Hi Year 5, I hope you're having a lovely week. Today we are going to label a diagram of a flower. Now that sounds easy and you can probably remember this from Year 2. Flower, leaf, stem, roots and even petal. However, now that you're in Year 5, we need to go into much more detail. If we were in school, we'd have picked some flowers and observed them carefully using the microscopes and researched the name of their organs using the iPads. You probably don't have a microscope at home, but if you have an iPad or a phone, you can use that to zoom in and magnify a flower's organs and take a photo. Or, if your parents agree, you can pick a flower and use your eyes to observe carefully. Don't choose daisies or dandelions, however, as you can't see their organs easily. Here are some good flowers that you may find in your garden or on a walk. That's a tulip, geranium, rhododendron, passion flower, Himalayan honeysuckle, fuchsia. Now, we need to research the names of the organs. So, the whole thing is called a flower. The blue part is a petal. This green bit that looks like a leaf isn't a leaf, it's a sepal. Let's check where the sepal is on a flower. Here it is on a rosebud, and here it is on this yellow flower. And here you can see it hanging down after the bud has opened. In the middle of every flower is the carpal, which is the female part of the flower. The carpal usually looks different. It may be larger or a different colour. The top of the carpal is called the stigma. The middle part of the carpal, that looks a bit like a stalk, is called the style. And at the very bottom of the carpal is the ovary. Let's check where the different parts of the carpal are on this photo of a rhododendron flower. This photo shows the same flower after its petals have fallen off. Here is the stigma and the style. Now, you can't see the ovary in this photo with the petals, but it's easy to see on this photo once the petals have fallen off. Surrounding the carpal is the male part of the flower. There are always lots of male parts. The male parts are called the stamen. You can remember this as male because it contains the word men. The top part of the stamen is called an anther, and the part that looks like a stalk is called the filament. Try to name these flower organs before me. This is just the whole flower. The red part is the petal, and this green part is a sepal. Now let's look at the female part, which is called the carpal. Stigma, style, ovary. Now let's look at the male part, which is called the stamen. Anther, filament. Have another go with this passion flower. Petal. The whole of the purple part is the carpal. Stigma, style, ovary. The green parts are the stamen, anther, filament. Let's name the organs of this tulip. Petal. In the middle is the carpal. Stigma, style, ovary. The yellow parts are the stamen, anther, filament. We also need to research the functions, that just means job, of each organ. Flower is the reproductive part of a plant. Petal. Petals attract insects for pollination. Sepal. The sepal's job is to protect the flower bud. The male part of the flower, the stamen. Anther. The anther produces pollen. Filament. The filament holds up the anther. Now looking at the female part of the flower, the carpal. Stigma. The stigma receives the pollen. Style. The style holds up the stigma. Ovary. The ovary is where the fruit containing the seeds will grow. Your work is to draw a label diagram of a flower. You could choose to take a photo and label it, or you could dissect a flower and stick its organs onto a piece of paper and label them, or you could draw or paint a flower and then label it. The important part is to label your flower using scientific vocabulary and to explain the function of each of the organs. Here are some really good examples from last year. Let's have another look at the information. You may want to pause the video here and write some notes, or you could research your own information. Good luck with your work. If you want it displayed on our science board, please email it to me via the school office. Well done, Year 5. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.